Hello everyone. In this lesson, let's go through some basic trigonometric identities. The first one is cofunction identity, which comes out of right triangle, and which says sine theta equals cosine of 90 degree minus theta, or cosine theta equals sine of 90 degree minus theta. Let's see what this means. So sine 35 degree equals cosine of 90 degree minus 35 degree, which equals cosine of 55 degree. So sine 35 degree equals cosine 55 degree. Sine of 75 degree equals cosine of 90 degree minus 75 degree, which equals cosine of 15 degree. Cosine of 10 degree is equals to sine of 90 degree minus 10 degree, which equals sine of 80 degree. So cosine 10 degree equals sine 80 degree. Likewise, cosine of 45 degree would be sine of 90 degree minus 45 degree, which equals sine 45 degree. Sine of 89 degree equals cos of 90 minus 89 equals 1 degree. Cos of 19 degree equals sine of 90 minus 19 equals 71 degree. Let's go through another identity which is known as Pythagorean identity, which says sine square theta plus cosine square theta equals 1, or cosine square theta plus sine square theta equals 1. Let's see why this identity is known as Pythagorean identity. Let's consider a right triangle. Let's say the acute angle here is theta. Let's say that this side length is A, let this be B, and let this hypotenuse be C. An identity says cosine square theta plus sine square theta equals 1. So let this be left hand side of the equation, and this is the right hand side of the equation. Let's start with the left hand side of the equation, which says cosine square theta plus sine square theta. We know that cosine theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. The adjacent with respect to this angle theta is A in this case, while hypotenuse of this triangle is C. Sine theta equals opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite with respect to this angle theta is the side length B, while the hypotenuse is C. Now substitute cosine theta and sine theta here. Cosine theta equals A over C, which means cosine square theta will be A over C whole square. So A over C whole square plus sine theta is B over C. Sine square theta means B over C whole square. So B over C whole square, which equals A square plus C square divided by B square plus C square, which equals A square plus B square divided by C square. But according to Pythagorean theorem, it says that A square plus B square equals C square. So instead of this A square plus B square, substitute with C square, which becomes C square divided by C square, which equals 1, which equals right hand side of the equation. So that's how this identity makes sense. Let's look at another identity which is known as tangent identity, which says tan theta equals sine theta by cosine theta. Let this be left hand side of the equation. Let this be right hand side of the equation. Let's start with the right hand side of the equation. It says sine theta by cosine theta. In any right triangle, sine theta is the ratio of opposite over hypotenuse, and cosine theta is the ratio of adjacent over hypotenuse. So substitute here. Sine theta means opposite over hypotenuse. Cosine theta means adjacent over hypotenuse. Change this division to multiplication. While doing so, the denominator flips up and down. So opposite over hypotenuse times hypotenuse over adjacent. Hypotenuse and hypotenuse get cancelled out, which becomes opposite over adjacent, which is the ratio for tangent theta, which equals left hand side. Let's solve this question. Calculate 5 other trigonometric ratios for sine theta equals 0.8. So we are asked to find out how much is cosine theta, tangent theta, cosecant theta, secant theta, and cotangent theta. Since sine theta is already given, so let's start with this cosecant theta, which is the reciprocal of sine. So cosecant theta equals 1 over sine theta, which equals 1 divided by sine theta is 0.8. So 1 divided by 0.8 equals 1.25. So cosecant theta equals 1.25. Next, let's find this cosine theta by applying Pythagorean identity, which says cosine square theta plus sine square theta equals 1. Cosine square theta plus, since sine theta is 0.8, so sine square theta means 0.8 square, which equals 1. Take this on the other side of the equation, which becomes cosine square theta equals 1 minus 0.8 square. Cosine square theta equals 0.36. Remove this exponent 2 by putting square root on both sides of the equation. So square root of cosine square theta equals square root of 0.36. Exponent 2 and square root will cancel out, which leaves us with cosine theta equals square root of 0.36 equals 0.6. So cosine theta equals 0.6. Next, let's find the secant theta because the reciprocal of cosine theta. So secant theta equals 1 over cosine theta, which equals 1 over 0.6, which is approximately equals to 1.67. So secant theta is approximately equals 1.67. Next, let's find tan theta by applying tangent identity, which says tan theta equals sine theta divided by cosine theta. Sine theta equals 0.8, cosine theta equals 0.6, which is approximately equals to 1.33. So tangent theta is approximately equals 1.33. Now let's find this cotangent theta, which is the reciprocal of tangent theta. So cotangent theta equals 1 over tangent theta, which equals 1 over 1.33, which is approximately equals to 0.75. So cotangent theta is approximately equals 0.75. I hope this video is helpful and thank you for watching.